time. We'll see the order shift quite a bit towards that.
Hello everyone. We are here with hello everyone. Right. Hopefully this is a little bit better. We are here everyone with Canon round 11. We have 16 drivers on the grid for tonight's race. Possibly a couple more to turn up if or potentially a couple more to turn up, but a decent size grid as well. So let's get all of our bits and pieces we need. So here we go then. Right, we've got currently Clint out on a fast lap at the minute. Running the first fly lap of the session. He's in the Williams Force a 27.8 for the benchmark on Sector 1 Force. Oh, fuck. So, yeah, sorry about that. So, 27.8 for Sector 1, a 56.1 overall through the opening two sectors of this lap. Let's see what Clint can do for a benchmark in this qualifying session. For us today is a 15.7, a respectable time so far. Here is NASCAR in the Racing Bull, a decent qualifier at times throughout this season. So it will be interesting to see how he does here in Mexico. A nice decent line through, well, entering the final part of the sector here. Round the final three corners, I want to say there, and across the line into P2 at 16.3, just ahead of the McLaren McCoy, and just behind Clint's one. Oh, I will get that sorted. 2 seconds. Is this any better? I hope it is. Nope. I want to cry. 7 minutes to go. While he's doing this. Right, hopefully this is going to work. Please work. I hope it's not echoing. So it was, I believe, Buddha on pole position, with a 1:15. Also, am I able to check? I don't know if I can. No, but here is the starting grid for anyone that wasn't able to catch it a moment ago. Mr. G, if you're still there, is it echoing still? Or I really hope it's not. So, formation up is here for everyone. We've got Good on pole, 7 in second position, Clint in third, the two Hasses of Jay and Jensen in 5th and 6th, 4th and 5th, sorry. McLeod in 6th, Alex in 7th, NASCAR in 8th, Will in 9th, Mike in 10th. A tough qualifying for McCoy in 11th, Coach in 12th, Logan in 13th, Edgar in 14th, Badger in 15th, and Exception trailing off towards the back there in 16th. So, we should have a fairly interesting race ahead of us. A few riders that are definitely capable of moving their way through this extremely close field that we've had in previous weeks. Especially around Austria, it was an extremely close qualifying, a very decent race. So let's hope that translates to Mexico here for what should be a fun and enjoyable race. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. G, for letting me know, mate, honestly. Oh, here we go. 5 red lights. Righty ho, here we go. And Buddha is off the line. 7 got extremely quickly off the line as well. They are side by side heading down into turn 1. And it's an extremely long run down to the first corner here. 7 on the inside, Buddha on the outside. And they are side by side going through, and it is the Williams who stays out in front for this opening lap. We've got a Red Bull of Mike having a bit of a moment there, it seems. We've also got Exception moving up a fair few places at the start of this race. So it is Buddha 7, Jay, Jensen McLeod, Clint, Mike, Alex, Coach, Edgar, so far as your top 10 round this first part of the race, and they're extremely close at the minute. 7 doing everything right now to stay on the back of the Williams ahead. There is 9 tenths between them. Buddha has got off to a fantastic start here, trying to gain as much time between himself and 7 before DRS is activated for this lap ahead. It will be activated. They won't have it for the first 2 or the first DRS zone. They will have it for sector 2 though. And heading down there, 7 just creeping in to the back of Buddha. Clearly got a lot more straight line speed, and Buddha with a 3-second penalty already in this race. That is going to be extremely costly come the end. And Alex and Logan both making early stops, so possibly a bit of damage there for those 2 drivers. Not too sure, a bit late on the pit stops there, so NASCAR towards the back of the grid at the minute. Tough start for him in this race, still well within a shot of jumping a few places in a moment. We have got the DRS zone coming up. Let's jump on board, leading 2 cars at the minute, and it is still the same order as what it was. That was not quite a long enough DRS zone for 7 to make a move. There's 7 tenths between them. There is your strategies: a medium hard for the first strategy, and medium hard, medium for the second. Not too sure, but let's see what everyone has started on for the race. There we go, leading 2 cars on the mediums, along with Clint, Mike, Edgar, Coach, Will, McCoy, NASCAR, Badger, Exception, and I would assume the 2 cars there of Alex and Logan, with Alex just deciding it is not his night tonight. Ends it early, very early on here. So, as for the other drivers on the tyres, it is Jay, Jensen, McLeod, all on the hard tyres. Let's see how they are doing at the minute. Still in 3rd, 4th and 5th respectively from where they started, and DRS zones on the way for these guys. Let's see if either of them can make a move here. There is gaps opening up everywhere across the field at the minute. They're still within DRS range with, I would probably say, the majority of drivers. A few there just having a little nose ahead of Jensen. It was his teammate of J and 7 just looking to see if anything was possible to try and make a move to rearrange that top 3 there. Nothing possible at the minute. It's just a bit of a long game for these guys. I mean, it's going to be extremely tough to overtake. A few drivers running slightly higher downforce for this race, and it seems to show, especially down the main straights. Buller not quite having the pace that he's having through sector 2, but 7 and Jay really making moves on that time ahead of them. Coach just grabbing another 3-second penalty there, not what he's going to need in that battle for P9. At the minute he's got a few cars behind him, but a bit of a gap between himself and McCoy, but is it going to be enough in a few laps time? Here is 7 and J just battling out for second place. As a small amount of, just a small little bit of contact through turn 1 there, but overall they get through nicely. It is now J in second, 7 in third, and Jensen just making a move. The wow, bit of a lunge on the Mercedes there. Both Hasses now into the podium positions, getting past the Mercedes here, and not a good half a lap there for 7. A fair way to go though at the minute. We are only on lap 5 of 36, so there's 32 laps to go, and plenty of action to come from these drivers. So 7, just shy of 7 tenths away from Jensen ahead. Jay is gaining though very quickly on the leader. Is he going to try and make a move into turn 1? Not this time around, just a bit too far behind from the Williams of Buddha. And what will happen through this second DRS zone here? Is it enough for Jay to make a move? Not quite this time around. Here is Buddha's time to try and put away. It's got a bit more downforce on this car compared to guys behind him, and that gap just opens up a little bit through sectors, through the end of sector 1 and 2 here. Jay though just closing that gap. His teammate Jensen extremely close behind. Let's jump down further down the field, where the gaps have started to open up a little bit now. There's a few drivers now here just trying to pull what they can from this race. It's only really this top 5 that are in any real fight for position, and Jay is on the inside of Buddha here. The Williams drops to P2, the Haas is in P1 now. What will happen through this second DRS zone? Will the second Haas of Jensen get through on Buddha as well? They are side by side into turn 4 here, and it is gonna be, I'm not even sure who it is out in front at the minute. It is Buddha who keeps that position in P2. Them two were extremely close through turns 3, 4 and 5 there. That was some good side by side racing from these drivers at the minute. And we have a yellow flag. It is Clint with a moment, dropping down to P10. Have he got any damage on? Well, that's just weird. Does he have damage on that Williams car? I'm not too sure. Possibly not. He should be okay to continue on in this race without too much of a pit stop at the minute. We have got 7 boxing though for the hard tyres. That is an early stop compared to the other front runners in this race. He's gone for an alternative strategy and hoping that it will pay off for himself. There's still over 20 laps to go in this race, so he's going to have to do an extremely long stint if he's going to want to stay within touching distance of a possible podium for that Mercedes team. So we have got Jensen now with DRS on the Williams ahead of him. unfortunately for Buddha, he's just a bit too far to have any chance of properly defending with DRS there, and he is down into P3. A difficult, not a tough opening 5 laps for Buddha. A difficult next 4 laps. He's dropped a few positions now. He's down to third place, and he does have McLeod on the back of him as well as we head to the next DRS zone. But although he might have a chance to use DRS to help defend from the Mercedes behind, what can he do? We're coming through the DRS now. Has he managed to stay within the detection zone? Flipping heck. That camera always pops up at the worst time. I don't think he did. He's dropped 1.5 seconds behind. It's the 2 Haas's now out in front for this race. McLeod will have DRS heading down the main straight. He's jumping into the pits. He's gonna try the undercut from the cars ahead of him. So NASCAR and Edgar looking currently in 5th and 6th. NASCAR with the DRS open goes to the inside, jumps just ahead of Edgar, moves over quite late for the braking zone, makes a move that's nice and clean through, and he makes a slight mistake on the exit of turn 3 there, and it gives Edgar the chance to move back into 5th with NASCAR. The DRS was open though, not able to make any redemption on that slight mistake for P5 there. Still in 6th at the minute though, on the 9 lap old medium tyres. Edgar on the same tyre life as him at the minute, so it's nicely matched between these two. 4 tenths between them. Another DRS zone on the way, and what will happen between these two? It's likely to stay the same. It has stayed the same for a minute, but a longer DRS zone to come. Will one of them try and get the undercut on each other? Not this time around, so we will see this battle go on for another lap. The rear wing of the Racing Bull is open. Will NASCAR make the move this time around? He looks for it. It's not quite available this time, but he will have DRS into the slightly shorter zone here, down to the right turn 4 here. The rear wing's open once again, and not quite able to make the move on the Aston Martin ahead. They are still fairly leveled, fairly level playing field at the minute, and it is just neck and neck between these two. They are fairly similar pace. Let's have a quick look at I can't see it. That's a shame. I was hoping to see last lap times, but as we see, their fastest laps there for each of them is a 19.5 and a 19.7, so extremely well matched between them. As we've got it here, we look at the penalties as well. It is 3 seconds for Buddha, NASCAR and Clint. Coach, unfortunately, with 9 seconds of penalties, and that is going to be extremely costly come the end of this race. So, as for pit stops this race, it is the top 6 so far that have yet to make a stop each, along with exception there in 14th, hasn't made a pit stop yet. Everyone else has made a stop. So, sorry, no, yeah, it was top 6. So 7 just jumps past Will there for P6. A close battle here as we see between NASCAR and Edgar. We are going to jump to the 2 Hasses though, as we have jumped on board at the right time. Jensen just moving past his teammate for the lead of this race. The 2 Hasses now swapping places and leading the race, still 5.5 seconds ahead of their closest competitor at the minute. So will it be a case of Jensen and Jay just trying to manage this race, or will they be essentially throw to race and whoever is quickest will be allowed, or whoever is quickest just goes for it potentially? So a nice little battle here for 4th place is Edgar. NASCAR and 7 in the Mercedes has joined this fight. A early pit stopper here for this driver of 7, and so far it's paid off. He's jumped straight back above most of the field. He's in P6, chasing down P4 in a minute as NASCAR jumps into the pits, and that will give the advantage now to the slight advantage, to Edgar, who stayed out for another lap. He has got the quicker car of 7 behind him on slightly newer tyres on the Mercedes there, but they are still, these 2 are fairly close at the minute. Will fairly closely matched at the minute. How quickly can the Mercedes put away? How quickly can the Aston Martin, or how well, can the Aston Martin stay with the car ahead? It is unfortunately for Edgar not very long at this moment in time. He's also got the 2nd Mercedes there with McLeod on his tail. DRS open at all? I'm not sure if he was able to get it that time around. So it's McLeod and Jay just behind as well. That Haas is absolutely rapid at the minute. So Jay boxed last lap. Jensen has gone in this lap. Edgar has also jumped in this time around. So both drivers here of McLeod and Jay having DRS. There is Jensen leaving the pits and joining this fight very, very soon. We've got a McLaren, unfortunately off track there in sector 2. I'm not too sure who it was. I believe that was Logan, so hopefully for him no damage and he can continue on his way in this race, try and catch up possibly to the cars ahead of him. So this top 4 battle is gonna start heating up potentially soon. There's only, well, roughly 3 seconds between the top 4 at the minute, so we'll jump back on board them drivers as soon as they get closer. We've got a nice battle here once again between, it is NASCAR involved, coach involved, and Clint is just sticking to the back of them a little bit further behind than he would probably want to be at this stage of the lap. But how well can he catch up down the main straight? I believe he was within 1 second of the detection zone, but we'll see if the game was being generous. Not this time around. So it has left him in the lurch. It has given NASCAR a chance to break away, try and get past the Alpine ahead. Will he make a move? It's unfortunately not on this time around. He has got another dose of DRS ahead. Will he be able to make a move now? He does. And it is NASCAR into 8th. Coach down to 9th place. That is unfortunate for the Alpine and the Williams there. Just not able to, well, the Williams not able to get the DRS on the previous chance, and Coach with DRS this time around on the Racing Bull. Is it going to be enough to give him a chance to get a close the gap further? Not this time around. He will definitely have another chance. Heading down to turn 1 we go in a minute, and we've got a move here with McCoy, as we saw in the foreground a minute ago, just making a move before the DRS zone, and Coach not able to make anything happen this time around. Might have had a slightly poor exit leading round to the final corner, which made him drop down, drop a few attempts on the Racing Bull. DRS just not doing enough for him that time around. We are going to jump on board just ahead of these two guys, just ahead of NASCAR and Coach. It is McCoy and Buddha. They are currently 6th and 7th. McCoy was within a chance of getting within a second of the detection zone there. I'm not sure it happened at that time. He is closing though, so there is that small chance he was able to get a McCoy and McLaren. He is aiming for this P6. There is a few time penalties ahead of him. We've just seen there on the timing board. Jensen getting past 7 for P2 here. So there's the two Haas drivers leading this race, followed by the two Mercedes. That is going to be a good team result for both all 4 drivers there. So here comes Jensen. He's getting the he's got a bit of pace on his teammate ahead of him. There's 8 tenths between them. It was 1.5 seconds a few corners back. So there is a McLaren in between the two of them at the minute. So Logan would also get DRS. How quickly can Jensen clear the McLaren and then catch up to his teammate? So the gap is now down to just under half a second. There is a short DRS zone on the way. How quickly can he get past? And there was a 3-second time penalty for Jay. That is gonna be costly in 16 laps time, or 17 laps time, sorry. So 7 tenths between them. Jay with a 3-second time penalty. This is gonna be one hell of a drive for Jay to try and open that gap. His teammate has a lot of pace on him right now. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. I had to run away for a moment, getting a bit of a yeah. Let's not go there, shall we? Right, so we did unfortunately miss the overtake between the two Haas drivers of Jensen and Jay. So it is Jensen leading his teammate at the minute, but has just made a move on Mike heading into the DRS zone there. So the Williams now backing it up into P5, a very, very difficult race for this driver. He did take pole position. He's now down to 5th place, but potentially still a decent point scoring position for him. He's got Mike on the back of him at the minute. How can they go? How well will they go through this middle sector here? We've got 16 laps of racing remaining. We are 15 laps of racing remaining, sorry. So the Red Bull on the Williams. That's unfortunate for Mike. Not quite enough to get closer to the driver ahead. Will he get a chance this time around? I'll have to double check. I'm not sure if he made the detection zone there. Well, DRS is on the way. Has he got his wing open? Unfortunately not. That is costly for Mike there. 1.3 seconds is the gap, and this field has really opened up. The closest two on track at the minute are the two Haas drivers, a second between them with 14 laps. It looks to be these two taking the top two spots here, but it all depends what Seven and McLeod have got in their locker for the remaining in the remaining 14-ish laps. So here we go then. Mike has unfortunately fallen back slightly. NASCAR is having a good race at the minute. Currently P7, 7 tenths behind. 7 jumping into the pits. That early stop possibly costing him a little bit here. He's had to jump into the pits once again. So NASCAR on Mike here. The Racing Bull versus Red Bull. Who is going to make turn 1 first? It is the Racing Bull ahead of the Red Bull, and nicely done from NASCAR there. Another dose of DRS to help him put away from the driver behind. Heading into turn 4, will Mike be able to try and stay within a second as we head round for this final third of the race? Let's double check, see what tyres 7 decided to go on to. It is a fresh set of tyres for the Red Bull driver. Jay is on the only driver on mediums currently. McCoy has also made a second stop in this race. So a fair few drivers making 2 stops here. So it is 7 with a 2 stop, Clint, McCoy, and the other McLaren of Logan. So far we've got Jay making a surprise stop in this race, or not quite a surprise stop, going by how many have boxed so far. He has come out on a fresh set of the hard tyres. He's got 12 laps. How well can he go there? Or how well can he do on them tyres? He can pretty much push till the end now and not have to worry too much. So Edgar is around a second behind 7 a minute. Has DRS on the driver ahead. small look up, and unfortunately a bit of a costly look up there for the Aston Martin driver. So let's jump back on board the Haas of Jay. He's chasing down this Red Bull of Mike. Mike, McLeod and Badger may start thinking about jumping off these old hard tyres soon. They're starting to lose a lot of grip in this race and a lot of lap time at the minute. So it will be who has the DRS here. It is Mike. He's played it clever. Mike has DRS, so he's good enough to keep him on the back of Jay at the minute. How well can he stay on the back here? He's got another dose of DRS once again to try and bring him much closer. It's not quite able to. Them tyres are losing a lot of performance at the minute. So just trying to find some close battles at the minute, and there's not really too many going on. We have got Jay coming up to the racing ball, so we jump on board for a lap on Jay's car in the Haas. So, as we saw there, a nice little lap on board the Haas of Jay there, getting past Mike on the previous run down to turn 1. It looked as if Mike knew exactly who his battles were today, and it wasn't quite with the Haas driver, who is now extremely close to Buddha. It's 1.6 seconds at the minute. These two, will they have another great fight out on track once again? And Clint has retired from the session. It is unfortunate to see the Williams heading into the pit lane for the final time in this race. So the Haas of Jensen jumping into the pits for a fresh set of medium tyres. He's also joined on the mediums by McLeod and NASCAR as well. So he only drops to third place, 3 seconds behind his teammate of Jay, who at the minute is extremely close to the Williams, who has retaken this lead in the race. There's 6 tenths between himself and Jay at the minute. This is going to be one close battle for a few laps, I would say. 10 lap deficit in the tyres. So, what can these two drivers give us for entertainment this time around? It is the Williams versus Haas for the lead of this race. Jay with DRS 2 tenths behind. It is close, heading into the stadium section of the track. They are side by side as they head round once again, and that is unfortunate for Buddha. He will have DRS so as we head down for the run into turn 1. What can they produce for us now? There's 6 tenths between them, and this tyre deficit is really starting to show between the two drivers. How will they go? It is Buddha. He's got some pace with that rear wing open, and it's 2 tenths behind, 3 tenths between them now into turns 1, 2 and 3. Here we go into the 1 to 4. DRS open for Buddha, half a second between. Has he left himself enough of a battery? I'm not too sure. We haven't got it up this race. And round 2, turn 5, 6 and 7 here. It's a close battle once again between these two, and as these two were fighting their way, fighting between these two on track, it is left Jensen gaining, and now within a second of Buddha, there is an extremely close fight now for the lead once again. It is between the two Haas drivers and the Williams. What can happen between these 3 cars? So though the help of DRS is keeping Buddha ahead for the time being, there is 14 lap difference between himself and Jensen. This is going to be a close one between these guys. And DRS open again for the Haas driver and the Williams. And once again, Buddha doing extremely well to defend from the Haas with much fresher tyres. He's doing well as well to keep on the back of the Haas in front of him. And this is an entertaining battle between these 3 drivers. There's a few tenths between them now, and with Buddha just having slightly more downforce for the exit of the corners, it's helping him with the slightly worse tyre life on his hard tyres. A little slide on the exit of the final corner there, still well within DRS range. Jensen though much closer to the Williams ahead this time around. Will it be enough to make a move? It's not. Buddha just parking his car where he needs to, and there's a bit of contact as we head through turn 2 and 3. Wow, these two drivers giving us a proper fight on our hands at the minute. Buddha taking the inside line, Jensen trying to go around the outside, and it's just not enough. Keeps it within track limits. So Jensen on these medium tyres, just trying to make it work, trying to get the tyre advantage for his Haas car here. So a bit of a few cars here to try and navigate past, a couple of lapped cars here and there for some of the for the front 3 here. So we've also got 7 now coming into this fight for a podium position. He's 1.1 seconds behind Jenson there, and it is Jenson ever so closer to the Williams ahead. He's gone down the inside of Buddha and retakes P2 in this race. It is now Buddha unfortunately down to third place, and that looked extremely tight through turn 1. Damn, that was a good battle between them 3 drivers. Like, that was some close wheel-to-wheel action from them at times. Some extremely good driving between the 3 of them as well. But at the minute, it is still well and truly on in this fight for this lead. We've got 5 laps to go. We are lap 32 of 36 here, about to be 4 laps to go in this race, and there's not much separating these drivers whatsoever. It is Jenson 6 tenths behind his teammate Buddha, 1 second behind the 2 Haas drivers. Did Buddha get DRS? He was slightly out, and it is 7 closing it down fairly quickly here. Will Buddha have enough tyre life in those hard tyres to give a decent fight to 7 for third position? Yes, Buddha has penalties currently, but it is all still to play for. Anything is possible in the remaining 3.5 laps here. So we have got a yellow flag, and it is unfortunately Buddha having a moment in sector 2 there. So he has dropped to 4th place. He's a little bit off as well. A fair gap though between himself and McLaren behind. We've got the fight for the top 2 though between Jay and Jenson, all to play for. 2 laps to go in this race. The 2 Hasses fighting out for this top spot in the race. It is now Jenson in the lead, making a nice move past his teammate there, down to the run into turn 1. And DRS open once again for the Haas driver. His teammate just tagging along behind there. Much older tyres compared to Jenson ahead, so realistically should be fairly close, as the hard tyres are in somewhat, he's on much older tyres, but somewhat still fairly decent tyres as well for pace wise. Let's jump down to this battle for P8 between the Ferrari of Will and the McLaren of McCoy. There's just under 8 tenths between them at the minute. How will this battle pay out? Lap 35 of 36. We've got, well, these 2 have got 2.5 laps. Sorry, yeah, 1.5 laps, sorry, to show what they are able to do. Show what show what they are able to do. Show what these 2 drivers can give everyone in terms of another good fight here. Will, on much older tyres though, hasn't really, I've eaten my words straight away, hasn't really been able to defend much of McCoy's McLaren there into turn one, so he's managed to put away through with that extra bit of DRS ahead, and just starting now to put away from the Ferrari of Will. There is a small chance that Will got DRS through the detection zone there. He has got his wing open, so that will give him a chance to fight back for that 8th position. It is Jay with a time penalty, so the two Haas drivers now on time penalties. That is going to be extremely close for those two drivers. Let's have a quick look, see what the potential damage is for them two. It is 6 seconds for Jay, 3 seconds for Jensen, and Jay has got his work out now in this final half a lap. So we will have a few more corners here for the two Haas drivers about to cross the line. It will be Joe that takes the checkered flag, but it will be his teammate that takes the win here in Mexico it will be Seven that takes the win in Mexico. Jensen in second place. Jay takes the checkered flag up, it drops to 4th. It is McLeod in 5th. Oh, so that's what that button is. McLeod in 4th, Buddha in 5th, Edgar in 6th place, Mike in 7th currently, with McCoy, Will to both cross the line in 8th and 9th. Coach crossed the line in 10th position, has a huge amount of penalties though, with NASCAR coming across the line in 11th place. I'm not too sure these two will swap positions, so it will be Coach with the final points position here. Badger will come across the line in 13th place, an extremely difficult race for the Sauber driver here. Thank you, McCoy. I will see you in Singapore next week, mate. Have a good one. So there is your winner of Mercedes of 7, and what a tough battle we've had for the lead at times here. Some extremely good fights throughout this race. So let's run down your position, your final positions here. 7 Jensen, J McLeod, Buddha, Edgar, Mike, McCoy, Will, Coach as your top 10. NASCAR, Logan, Badger, Exception, Clint, and I will go back to that one in a moment. We need to get this done quickly. So many warnings and time penalties in this race. A fair few pit stops in this race as well. And so we're not being so horrible. It is unfortunately Clint there towards the back of the grid. So thank you everyone for watching tonight. Sorry about the issues through qualifying, but thank you for sticking around, watching, and have a fantastic night. We will be back in for Singapore Until then, bye bye.